We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Okay. Those will be along shortly. Somebody's messaging me. Knock, knock. Hi. And there we are together on stream. Hi. How's things from the other room? One I was just in the car with.
I'm good. How are you?
I got this chonky journal. It's so chonky. Look at it. Look at that baby.
It's chunky.
It's not a camera. It's so chunky. This is what I imagine it's going to look like when it's all over. Just going to be able to fold the back covers this way and the whole thing. That's what I think. Ooh, and that cover needs some work, doesn't it? Not nearly as exciting as the inside. Sherry, Candy, Maury. Hey, Leah, welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome.
So I got my mail from Arlene.
Finally, at long last. Oh my God, did I tell? I got a message to Arlene. I don't know if I have mail. Anyway, tell Arlene I said, oh my God. Are you going to open it? Are you going to open it? Are you going to open it?
You see that? It's in a plastic
I see a
bag.
package that you have not opened. Oh
And it
no,
said,
it befell some kind of...
Dear postal customer, we sincerely regret the damage to your mail during handling by the Postal Service. We hope the incident does not inconvenience you. We realize that your mail is important and that you have every right to expect it to be delivered in good condition. Although every effort is made to prevent damage to the mail, this will occur. We hope you understand, yada, 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 yada.
You ain't getting your mail. You ain't getting your mail.
This is what my mail looks like.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Fully on the post office.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
So is it mangled to shit? Like, what's going on there?
Look, the whole thing.
Aw.
So now I'm going to see if I can open this.
Mari. Oh my God. Sherry says, funny how the bills are always delivered in perfect condition. They never screwed up one of those.
I know, right?
God forbid. Oh, that's got to be glued down real nice now. Nice.
So I got a handmade card. And there's this in there.
She sends the sweetest thing. Uh-oh. What is it? Aww.
If you don't know, my son is deaf, my youngest. And so I sign. So, I mean, most of you probably don't realize it, but like when we do the Sunday game, when I do the countdown and I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because I'm used to signing, I count down and sign. And Arlene she also has a family member that's affected. And so she sent me this, which is, I love you, and sign. Okay. Postal Service sucks. Let's see who's here. I'm going to go say hello. Hello, Sherry. Hi, Candy. Hello, Mari. Hello, Leah. Nice to see you.
Chris. Carla.
Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Carla.
Just a little hello. Well, all right.
All right. Why are you on my desk? Oh my God. You missed it. It was funny.
What? I did?
Well, I
Okay.
got that new tape runner today.
Yeah.
And I wanted
I heard about it. He stuck his butt right to it.
Yeah, he came as soon as I tried it on the paper's laying here, and I used my desk blotter, and he comes in, jumps up on the desk, and immediately flops down. And he gets up, and the blotter's stuck to his butt. You a fatty McFat. Okay. Do I have a channel?
Okay, so here's the question. Yes, it should be in the description box. It should be. Let me double check. Otherwise, and I'll grab a link while I'm over there. Hold, please. So here's a question.
Yep.
So I talked about wanting to make these 2 pages into a pocket.
Uh-huh.
So do I make the pocket so it's going in this way, like it's a Heidi pocket, or do I make it so it's in this kind of pocket? Put a little thing here, and what do you think?
Heidi pocket.
And then there was silence. Heidi pocket on the lacy side?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to see the nutritionist today.
Okie dokie.
And I got on the scale this morning before I went, because I won't do it in front of him. So I started this journey at 277. And as of this morning, I am at 240. So I've lost 37 pounds. Well, thank you, Miss Leah. 37 pounds.
Yay!
Which means I've lost a hairy and a half.
I started at 220. I started at 245 and I'm at 226.
Hi, Adria.
Welcome, Adria. What?
What do you need? What do you need? What can I do for you?
Okay.
Let's go, puss puss.
It's a good hearty laugh right there.
You're annoying. You know that, right, puss puss? Harry, you have to go. Because I want my desk. And your fat butt takes it all up.
He's like, I'm ready for my close-up, my butt close-up.
I know. He's like, pet my belly.
That's all you need, a little kitty Heiny.
Little kitty
Some
Heiny.
fuzz to make your day.
I laughed when he stood up and the blotter was stuck to his behind.
Well,
He
he doesn't have a shiny Heiny.
He didn't think it was funny. Personally, I thought it was freaking hysterical.
Oh, shoot.
So what are we talking about today? Do we know? I know.
I know.
Today we're going to talk about the usual suspects.
Okay, so.
Butler did it.
The butler did it.
All right, there's the link for Bemis Crafty Corner.
I put that in a while ago.
Ah.
My Minecrafting thing done.
I see that.
Well, I'll be honest. I had gone back up to 230, and I just to last night when I weighed myself before my shower. So I had to re-lose 4 pounds.
Everybody says hi, Hubber. Hi, everyone.
We are speaking of murder, and snarkiness,
Murder.
Carla said.
Mudda and
Also, Carla says,
snotty.
Hubber, and Candy says, hi, Mike. And even Mari says, hi, Hubbers. And Leah, everybody's in on it. The Hubbers is, he keeps things running. He does. He's just that kind of guy. All right, so I'm looking for something. I just need nothing schmancy. I just want something plain. Here, we'll use this because it's all. I just need to make this so that it's a little thicker. Although if I covered up this, oh, look at that. We're doing it.
Candy, a little concerned about that one.
Uh-oh. Did I miss something?
Yeah, she put a comment up there. It says, speaking of rubbers, mine just came upstairs.
Gotta love autocorrect.
Then she goes in and she tries to put in Hubbers, I hate autocorrect, and it put rubbers in again.
Effing autocorrect every time, man.
Oh my God, so bad.
Every night something, isn't it? Can't get away with nothing around here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just thickening this up a little bit so it'll be a nice, good pocket. But I can't see the top, so I have to turn it.
All right, well, you get on with your bad self and make your pocket, girl.
Whatever. And so that nobody's confused, we do not start out talking about the main topic. We just shoot the shit for a while, hang out, have some rubbery fun.
Candy's never living that one down.
Her rubbers walk around the house.
I know. She got some
Get up
active
the
rubbers.
stairs. I'm a little concerned. Always at the wrong moment too. There was when I worked at Wyndham, and I worked in the sales office as a secretary, and next door was the catering office. And the lady that was in charge of the catering office at the time, she puts out a newsletter-y kind of thing about stuff for the employees, I don't remember what they call the employee, try to make you happy, but don't do anything for you shit.
Yeah.
She was talking about you could win a Wyndham shirt or get a free Wyndham shirt. And she said, get free Wyndham shit. And she said, I don't know why autocorrect didn't hate that. And the sales manager just looked at her and went, because shit wasn't misspelled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But that went out company-wide. Get your free Wyndham shit.
Get your free shit.
I don't think I want any Wyndham branded shit. Thank you very much. I got to be honest, I didn't even really want the Wyndham branded shirt. Let's see. And yesterday, YouTube would not let me type an answer to the FF question.
Yeah, we have yesterday during the feud.
Oh.
It would, no matter how many times she tried to put it in there, it wouldn't let her put in the word.
Oh.
And it was stupid. So I made her spell it and skip a space in between each one.
Yeah.
And then it finally let it go.
What was the word?
Oh,
Was it naughty?
It was naughty. Well, come on. Everything about that game is naughty.
I was sleeping. I slept through the whole thing. My sleep schedule's all screwed up again. But then on the flip side, paper's coming along nicely. A few more days, and the orange will be coming out. Now, this is not, I did that right. Isn't that a nice grungy page? Somebody's going to be sad because that was in the sale pile. I yanked that shit right out of there.
You yank it back?
I was like, I need that. It lives here now. I need a paper towel. No, because I was out cold on the couch. It looks like faux leather. Trust me. It's just a sheet of notebook paper, honestly. See the holes? Holes. It's all good. Now we can glue that down, make our pocky. Oh, well, there's glue somewhere loose on the board. Okay, one of these pages is bigger than the other one.
Oh, where, oh, where? Now I'm just throwing things.
You're throwing things? Well, what's that all about?
I don't know.
Are you feeling a little... It took you to get the chocolate. Now you're just crazy.
I think so.
Janice! And Janice shared us out. Thanks, Janice. So as some of you may recall, when last week we covered the victims, the canonical victims of Jack the Ripper. Today, at some point, we will be discussing the usual suspects.
Well, because there are like a handful of ones that people go, oh yeah, it's one of them.
Well, those are the canonical rippers.
Yeah, the canonical rippers. Here we go. But the truth is that there is actually more suspects than there were murder victims.
Yeah, because everybody has a pet theory, and there were, I almost want to believe the police knew who it was, and they just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. That is a popular theory.
Oh, are you saying I'm just on the bandwagon?
I'm just saying that is a popular theory. All right, no pad shaming.
What? Oh, hers are just... I bought her new ones, people. I want you to know. I bought her brand new set as a gift. And I think maybe about 3 months ago. This was like a year and a half ago. Brand new. They were on sale. I got myself a set. I got her a set. I think about 3 or 4 months ago, she finally broke out one of them because the plate that she was using fully cracked in half, people. Even though she had brand new freaking plates. I'm not bitter or anything. I hate to think you thought I was bitter, Buy a woman a gift. She just keeps right on trucking.
I just want you to know, here they are. Brand new pads. I've used them once.
Jesus. It's so unrewarding to buy you presents.
I want to see how long I can use this one.
Oh my. Carla put an arrow and then put unusual suspect. Accurate. Janice is right. Carla speaks the truth with capital letters. Okay, so now I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to make this work. Now we have a little pocky in here.
Okay,
wait for it to dry though.
You glue one thing to another.
Oh, shut up. She's a true grandmother. Use something until it's trash and then find another use for it. Yeah. She's getting every penny's worth out of that thing. Every last penny.
Well, because when it breaks, I'll have Mike cut it down and I'll use it as pads in my sidekick.
That thing has got a crack in it. And
Got
I don't
two
mean
cracks.
her brain.
It's got 2 good cracks in it. It's almost ready to go.
But I bought a set of plates so I could use that one too. I have one of my own, but I don't have any room for it. So I just steal hers all the time. Well,
Yeah, she does.
not all the time, but with reasonable
When she needs it.
regularity. My gran would never wear a new dress until the old one is totally out. Then it would become dust rags or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Hey,
Adria
Missy.
said- Oh my God, Adria. That's too much information. She says, I got a good crack.
Thank you for sharing.
Hey, Mitzi, how you doing? Welcome. Janice sounds like my dad. Well, not the dress, but the rags out of towels and clothes. Yeah. Oh, that was my mom. I got smacked in the face once for using a dishcloth, an old, raggedy dishcloth, to try and make my Barbie a new dress. In the face, guys. And she was
Ooh.
mad.
Ooh, you bad, bad girl.
I never did that again. I never made anything for I think I stopped playing with the Barbies after that. I'm not playing anything with getting slapped in the face.
Barbie's
That's a
getting
hard
hit. Stupid Barbie.
And now I make creepy baby birdhouse mashups. Oh my God, have I showed you guys the doll I got? Yes, Murder Monday. I work on my serial killer journal where I pretend to be a serial killer. And eventually, at some point, Els regales us with the story of a serial killer or a murder or a cold case or a missing person. Sometimes we'll do supernatural stuff. This is relatively new. We're right now into about a 2-month deep dive into Jack the Ripper. We only have had one episode before this.
And
There's
we
gotta
just
be some psychology to that.
reviewed the victims.
Yeah, we did victims in the last stream. And if you haven't seen it and you are interested, if you are into serial killers and stuff, and not everybody is, so there's no obligation. But it's on Elsa's channel over here. Feel free to rewatch that if you are so inclined. We skip every other week. We're on my channel, and every other week we're on her channel. This week is my week. I'm looking for the doll.
We all get comfortable. This could take a while.
Oh, whatever. Why are you so mean to me?
Pinky, I'm always mean to you.
I know, Brain. I know. Okay, so we were at the thrift store the other day. What was it? Day before yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Day before yesterday?
Something like that. I don't know, but there was dancing in the aisles.
Yes, there was. It was all her. I did not dance in the aisles. Nobody can prove anything. Mitzi says, what a cool idea. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. I like my creepy, and so we get our creep on Mondays. Here's the doll I got. I bought it for the arms, but I'm thinking I'm going to do something with it. Look at all that hair. It's like crazy.
Move it to the right.
What? Oh, sorry. Look at all the hair, though. I think we could do you think we could make her Medusa?
Put it on the book.
It is on the book.
There.
Did you all try on the hookah? No, we didn't. They were too small for our feet. They were like a size 7. I wear 8 to 8.5, and I have really wide feet. And Els has what? You're 10.
Yep.
Isn't it though? I think we could make this look at because it's like in chunks. I think we could turn her into. We could like wrap it up, and we could maybe turn her into Medusa. What do you think, Els?
Yeah.
Right after we rip her arms off.
Yeah. He's back.
The Tushy is back. But these for the little baby birdhouses, you guys. I know you know what I'm talking about, most of you.
Nobody wants to see
We have-
that, Barry.
We did the big baby. We did the big creepy baby birdhouse mashup. My monster baby birdhouse. But we have little ones now that we got at the dollar store and that we got on the trip to Colorado. I have like 6 or 7. And we're going to work on a whole slew of monster babies and haunted birdhouses. Put some hair on the book. Oh my gosh. I do have hair though. I don't know where it is right now. While we were at, where were we? Five Below?
Maybe.
We got those little braids. I got some hair extension braids to put in the book. No, I'm just going to make it worse, Carla. But we'll cover up the armholes maybe with some clay and make her kind of, because we can bind her legs together and do something with that, right? You could turn a Barbie into a mermaid. This dress is a little scary. I think it's homemade. Anyway, I just thought she'd be fun. The arms are the right size for the...
Nobody wants to see that, baby.
Yes, they do. They want to see all the hairy tushy. And then I got this. This has nothing to do with creepy babies or birdhouses. But I love the colors in it. And it's the string like, so y'all are going to see this on packages and stuff to tie things together. It's going to be everywhere, everywhere. Unless I learn how to crochet some doilies.
Yeah.
What?
Not
can
teaching you
have
to crochet.
I can knit, but I can't crochet. And I only know one stitch. And I'm not trying to steal any of Arlene's cool I Make Dolls thunder, because she does make the most awesome dolls.
Yeah, she does.
So there's our pocket. Look at it. Look at the pocket. So let me figure out how wide that is. What kind of stuff I can jam in there. Now we got a little hidden pocky. I like it.
Excuse me, but a pocky is a Japanese.
If
treat.
you don't stop correcting me, I'm going to come out there and slap you around.
Ooh, baby.
The hate shopping. That's months worth of hate shopping, Adria. Those are select images. We take a picture almost every time we're in there of the best item. I have a slew on my camera too. If I went out anywhere, Adria, I would have totally bought the disco ball purse, but I'm a homebody. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try. I was going to try some kind of glue product for the Medusa. But I want to make it kind of coily, so I got to watch some tutorials. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Yeah, we hate shop every time we're out. If there's not hate shopping going on, something's wrong. Somebody doesn't feel good or we're mad at each other.
There's times where she doesn't go shopping with me and I'll hate shop something and send her the picture. Look at this.
Man, I should have gone. That's usually my response from home. Damn it, I should have gone. Those gold hooker boots, though. Oh, my God. I'll have to, I'm going to post mine on Instagram. I'm looking for something to stuff in the pocket.
Oh, I can give you something to stuff in the pocket.
Hey. Keep it G. Keep it G.
How big is the pocket?
And that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find a piece of, like a file folder so I can figure out how big the pocket is. I had 85 pieces of file folder. Now I can't find one. Oh, what did I do with that stack of file folder stuff? Hold on. Haha. I win. All right, let's see. We're going to try this. maybe. It's still wet. Okay, so this fits. And there's actually a little more room. So we'll use this maybe. I have a pile of these folder cutouts from file folder leftovers from L's. So I dyed them all, and I'm going to turn them into a little book, a ring bound book, because they're all roughly, they're not exactly the same size, but I just thought it would be fun. What is the size? What do you want to do with that? Ooh, crafty. Look at it. It's beautiful. You saying you don't like the piece of file folder I have? Huh? Is that what you're saying? So it's like that part of the file. All right. I could save that for the little journal. Pipe cleaners. Furry bendy sticks. And that's what I'm calling them from now on. I have a new name for pipe cleaners. Furry bendy sticks.
Pipe cleaners. Or Chanel sticks. They call them chenille sticks now.
Who was?
Wrap it around. Good idea, Janice. They have all the good tips.
That's why we have them.
You love my file folder. I just bought some for Hubs, but went blank. Fuzzy bendy sticks. It's my new favorite thing. And I am not making fun of you, Janice. I love it. I saw a meme the other day of a guy who was in a restaurant and he wanted silverware, but he couldn't think of the name for silverware. So he asked for food weapons. I'm like, that is excellent. I like the idea of battling my food, you know. Will I win with the potatoes? Oh, yeah. This is an awesome file folder, by the way. So how was everybody's weekend? Did you all have fun? Did you do something? Did you do nothing? Did you enjoy the nothing or the something?
What is a peen?
I don't think I want to answer that question.
Well, Carla said she makes tiny peens. And Mitzi said, what's a peen? What's a peen?
And Janice put up a picture of an eggplant.
Of an eggplant. And Carla's answer, a male body part that is hidden beneath the zipper. You could just call it what I call it, the dangly down part. The very, very scary dangly down part.
Is it scary, though? Is it?
Well, considering most men think with it, yes.
No, well, there's that. I need the other part to hold, please. Okay. I guess we'll decide on this one. Okay. It's right up there. That is good. I am having fun.
Are you having fun?
Mostly.
Mostly.
Oh man, I cut it off a little bit.
Oh, Carla has another bus story.
Oh no. Do tell, Carla. Inquiring minds want to know.
Need to know.
We don't have a life, so live vicariously through someone else. That's what I'm saying.
Janice says, and now we know why the movie The Man with Two Brains should have been a documentary.
Was one of them the dangly down parts?
Possible. Scientific fact. Do you know how you can tell if a man is worth being with at our age?
He doesn't have any hair?
If he's bald, go for it.
Avoid men with full head of hair. Is that what you're saying?
Because if they have a full head of hair, that's where all their testosterone is. Type faster, Carla.
No, the good stuff is worth waiting for. Type slowly and don't let autocorrect screw it up. I was followed after I got off the bus by a man who was from Liberia. He said he was a general and 7 sheets to the wind. You gave him your candy stash?
Aw.
Did you throw it in his face? See, that's part of the thing I never liked about the bus. I rode the bus a long time. But, there's always that fear that some weirdo is going to follow you. And I was followed a few times. I was never proposed to, though. And I am not sorry about that.
You know what? I don't think I've ever told these ladies my bad bus story.
Oh, no. And Adria says, candy stash, she says. With air quotes. Adria, you're so bad. Well, someone outside is either having a really good time or a really bad time.
Why do you say that?
There's a little bit of screaming going on. But it's that kind that could be I'm in trouble or I'm just having great sex.
Okay.
Springtime when the windows are all open.
And people forget.
Exactly. And haul my fat butt down the alleyway and slid in the back way. Good for you, Carla. Yeah, carry a whistle. I slip a fun-sized candy bar every day from the candy bowl. It's one way to get you a snack on. Besides, they got oodles of money. They're not gonna miss the candy bar. They're not going to miss it. I think I'm making a pocket in a pocket.
Are you?
I think so.
Yeah, carry a hidden pokey tool.
A decorative one that looks like a hat pin, and then you just jab it in his eyeball. I'm sorry, was that too serial killery?
Yeah, it was.
Too far? Too far?
It was a little over the edge there.
I'm a little unhinged,
I've heard that about you.
I've heard it from you.
You can't prove it.
Yeah, I can. It's recorded.
I don't know what you're talking about, Cuckoo.
Whatever, Cocoa Puffs.
I can beat him like Mary Poppins.
I have my umbrella. She's gonna go all Mary Poppins on his ass. You asked for this. This is all your own fault.
Well, that was like that guy that knocked on the door to my van, the window, and he was like, "Let me in," and he had a pocket knife in his hand, and I'm like, "Did you seriously bring a pocket knife to a demolition derby?"
Oh yeah. Jenna says, "Hit hard or jam hard, hit brain, run like heck."
Yeah.
Okay, I need something for the top up here. You're gonna make it fabulous.
Ah. All right. It is Amy time, and then I'll be back, and we're going to talk about. Hey, Roseanne.
That's a little thick.
I'm sorry. Hi, Roseanne.
Oh my God. Shut up.
So, Amy.
Yes.
Single screen, my dear.
Oh, whatever.
Well, people want to see what you're doing.
There we
People
go.
want to see what you're doing. There you go.
Do they? Do they really?
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we will get into all of the usual suspects.
Woohoo! So, yeah. So, baby doll, we can make the baby doll into a Medusa. And then, I've lost my pencil. And then we can use her arms on the creepy baby birdhouse. I'm on the make for some small creepy babies because we need some bottoms too if we're going to do babies. At least some of them should have bottoms too. Okay. So I'm going to glue this down first. Roseanne, how you doing? Great. Inadvertently, because men are dumb, Carla's going to be the bus killer in the first, serial bus killer in Minnesota. They were just so creepy. They were asking for it. Oh, what? I almost put that on backwards. Almost. I'll let that hang up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Sort of. She knows how not to get caught. We do have those black gloves at the 4-letter. She's slowly working it out in her head, right? So I do hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a productive but tiring weekend. I think it was Saturday we were at the thrift store because it was the day they have 50% off at Goodwill, and that's Saturday. So, yeah. I need to move the book out of the way so I don't want to get glue all over it. I love my shirt is orange today, guys. There's my orange shirt. Yes, I will agree with that, Adria. Are you jelly printing right now? I'm jealous. I'm so jelly. Jelly, jelly, jelly. Ooh, and I'm going to leave all those strings on there too. Okay. There's nothing we can do about the way it's ripped, so we're just going to work with it. I'm just going to wrap it around and do it. Frances, how you doing? How are you, lovely lady? It is awesome to see you here. And how's Mr. Francis? Mike says hello. Yeah, we're going to leave all those strings on there if we can. Let's blot up some of that glue. Try and get some of those bubbles out. Oh, I'm jelly. I'm jelly. I'm jelly of your jelly printing. I have been looking at a bunch of jelly printing videos. Just for inspiration, you know, and maybe to learn a few things. It's never bad to learn new things, you know. Well, let's see how much of that's going to wind up covering. Oh, look. That's fancy. Where it got, gonna be able to see it that way. Sweet. Look at me go. Too bad Ellis isn't here. I have questions. I maybe want to poke holes around it and sew it together. Today with the grands, the 11-month-old granddaughter, not the 2.5 or 4-year-olds. She keeps believing she can play with the big siblings. Oh boy. No. 11-month-old, no Play-Doh. No Play-Doh. Go wind up her nose. I don't know. What do you guys think? Ugly sticks the heck out of it? Is that a thing? Instead of gluing it? They do grow fast. Oh my gosh, so fast. So yeah, so we went to the, and I think I bought a couple of other things, but the doll is the main thing that's striking my fancy. Find a few more dolls and then I'll be able to start working on them. We'll be able to start working on them live. Well, and they always, the little ones always want to, you think, yes, sew it? Okay. We shall do it then. We'll do it. I gotta find my, I know where my book binding kit is. I feel like there's something I was going to tell you guys about the thrifting. Oh, I got some cool things, but they're out in the garage. Let me go grab one real quick. I think you guys will like it. And I have it, I think it may be a journal ID for it. Idea. Uh-oh, there went the scissors onto the floor. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back. Els always finds the fun stuff. She found these and I bought them. This is what the box looks like. I want to use this. I'm pulling the price off because I want to use the cover for a journal. Oh no, they left the kids alone in the classroom. Should we jump on the desks? They are in Garagelandia. Okay, so aside from the box, now these are Sears brand. I don't know if I can, like, that may be. So they're Sears brand, so they're vintage. File guides. 25 division A to Z, 1/5 cut, assorted tabs, legal size, press board. Made in Chicago, Illinois. And I think that, oh, I use the heat tool. I might even get that up off there to use in Scraps of Joy. Check these out, guys. You don't find them like this that much anymore. So I'm thinking book, right?
Book.
I don't even, book?
Book.
Book? Oh, look. There's still this merchandise is guaranteed against any defects in material or workmanship. Operators are responsible for quality inspection and full count. This slip showing the operator's number on the back must accompany complaints to fix responsibility and help prevent their recurrence. Liability is limited to replacement. But check it out. There's no number on the back. Somebody didn't number it.
Ooh.
Els found these. I just purchased them. So I've been meaning to check if it's actually the whole alphabet. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Hold, please. M to the MC, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We got the full alphabet piece. Check that out.
Ooh.
And then it's got the thing here. So I'm thinking definitely some kind of book, right? Or books. What do you think, Els? I thought about just putting a ring through here, like a great big one. And then some other ones, like 2 on each side.
Yeah.
But do I, like 26 is a long pot. So do I divide them up into sets? You know? Do I divide the alphabet or do I just make one normal book and go for it?
Night, Candy.
Good night, Miss Candy. Thanks for coming and spending a little time with us. Technically, there's 27 because M has the MC.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Divide them up into sets of 7.
Okay.
You'll have one that'll have 6, but it's close enough.
Well, there's one. It's 5 tabs per set. Like it's a 5-tab system. So I should do it in 5, right?
Yeah. Can I come back now?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You're not doing anything except talking.
Fine.
There you go.
I'll just be the voice in the background.
Well, at least put something interesting on your screen besides Harry's butt. I don't know if you heard, but look at the cover of this. Does that not scream make a book cover out of me?
Yes.
And it's pristine. Like, well, it's got some damage on it, but like the cover, usually they're all scratched up and.
Honey,
Yes.
please come here.
Yes, I know what that's for. I'm just saying I should put one ring through there. What's the point of cutting that off? It's fun. And then add additional rings. So a bigger ring on the thing. So when I put the other smaller rings on,
Go lay down.
it's got play. You know, you'll be able to open it without any trouble. The first one will be a test, you know. So else. Oh, did she get up and go? Monkey. She put the monkey bucket on there. Weirdo. But you don't find them that nice anymore. You rarely find a set like that. That was a good score.
Honey.
Meatballs.
Yeah. Here.
Kraus says it screams Argos Scottish serial killer named Jolly Jack, the whistling serial killer. But I'll have to wish her some jaunty Irish tune, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we decided while you were gone that we should do a sewing on the edge of this pocket, the double pocket.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Ha!
I mean nothing because I am not pasta.
It's fresh.
Okay.
All right, honey.
Yes.
You ready to let her out for a minute?
Yes, she can come get her food.
Oh, how nice of you. It is. There's pasta under all that.
Come with me.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. It smells so pretty and delicious. And there's pasta?
And you know what there isn't? Buggy.
No buggy.
No buggy.
I like that just from a peace of mind standpoint, but he does, you know, he's not a big, I don't know. He never takes too much of dinner, I guess.
All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about the suspects.
Whatever he was doing.
Now, originally, there were like 3 main suspects. But over the years, that has expanded to include such bizarre creatures as H.H. Holmes, a woman, an artist. You get the idea. So we're going to talk about, you know, the so the first and probably the best known of the suspects was Leather Apron. He was a Polish immigrant that he was a butcher, so he always wore a leather apron. He carried a knife with him. So he was like the obvious suspect. He wasn't the only one. But there was, at the time, in England, there was some generalized racism against Polish people. Okay. Just for clarification, excuse me. had been reported to have been hassling streetwalkers, where he threatened some of them. Okay. So
Hi, Sandra.
he was, a legitimate suspect. You have somebody that's threatening and intimidating streetwalkers, and streetwalkers start turning up dead. Who are you going to look at?
The guy that was going, "You whores."
Exactly. So he was the first and most obvious of suspects.
Mm-hmm. Just for the record, we don't normally eat in here, but it's so delicious.
And I have to eat her my sugar drops every 4 hours.
I love how you became a toddler in the middle of that sentence.
I slaved over a hot stove.
Thank you, nice man. You jackass.
How's that sauce?
Oh my God.
Better than usual?
Carla says, I thought Bow Street threw him in the mix to throw the scent off someone else.
Well, no, I mean, he was investigated. He was completely investigated. One of the newspapers, the Star or something like that, they threw him into this.
Did they make him more of interest than was really the case?
Yeah, I think so. He made shoes on the side by trade, but he was working as a butcher. They really kind of sensationalized him.
Yeah. Hey, we might want to turn that music down on the TV.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just so we don't get a copyright violation.
Well, I'm related to her. If I get a copyright violation, I'll call her.
I love that song.
All right, turn it down.
So they thought that he was, he was a Polish Jew, and they didn't like Polish people. They didn't like Jewish people. It was a racist thing, really, I think, with him more than anything else.
Okay, so it was, it's always let's blame the people that we like the least first.
Yeah. So, they went
Or
after
the people
him.
that we're most scared of,
Yeah, but he was cleared.
Okay. And that's saying something, because usually they'll just pin it,
Yeah, but he was cleared. And he was cleared because on the instance of the first murder, he wasn't even in the area.
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talented if he was a butcher and a cobbler.
Well, he was a cobbler by trade,
Mhm.
but, they took whatever work they could. And working in a slaughterhouse was easy work.
A good way to supplement his income in between. Because people didn't buy shoes then the way they do now.
But eventually his name was brought out, and his name was Jack Pizer.
Okay.
And even after they knew his name, newspapers still called him Leather Apron because it was
salacious.
And then The second murder of Annie Chapman,
Yeah.
A washed leather apron had been found close to the body.
Mm.
And that just kind of whipped everybody into it again.
Right.
But the thing is that they actually knew that that particular apron belonged to somebody else. It would belong to one of the other residents in that house that was
Okay.
in front of the murder scene.
But you know, reporters don't always publish the facts. They publish what's gets them, you know, the reads.
Exactly.
Oh my God, leather apron was a thing, and now they found an apron, you know?
Yep. So,
No gills.
well, let me know if the situation changes.
You'll be the first to know, Glub Glub.
There's
Carla.
there's really no sense in going in to like him as a suspect because he was cleared very early on in the investigation. He got into a lot of brawls. He did not approve because he was Jewish. He didn't approve of drinking. So obviously he's going to have words to say to the streetwalkers who are drunk.
And selling themselves.
Right. And this actually ended up being, they basically had a mob that was out, you know, looking for anybody who fit that description.
Right. So let me ask you a question. I know we're not talking about theories,
Uh-huh.
but one of the theories is that there was more than one person.
Right.
Is he a bigger player in that if for those people?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
But I mean, they were literally running around in the district there saying, you know, that no Englishman could have committed this crime. It had to be one of the Polish Jews.
Right.
And they were shouting this and you know, pitchforks and all through the district.
Sadly, that was common for the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was racy in a bad way.
It got to a point where they actually had to bring extra men in to patrol the district because
They just wanted to lynch somebody.
right, because of the anti-Semitism.
Right. And it's not really any different today.
No.
Only now the flavor of choice is Muslims. Blame them all for something a few people are doing, you know?
Yep. So he was eliminated and moved on, and you know, people just had to kind of get past that. But in the end, he ended up moving out of the district.
So he really could have been.
It was not safe for him there.
Right. Because if somebody had caught him in a dark corner alone.
Exactly.
Bye-bye, Mr. Butcherman.
Exactly. So then another popular one of the day.
It's Central America now. I'll have to read up on some stuff. Sorry.
Another popular one of the day was Montague John Druitt.
Okay.
And he was actually a favored suspect of like one of the lead investigators.
Mm-hmm.
He was a lawyer.
Okay.
What they call a barrister. But basically he was a lawyer. And he also worked as a teacher.
Okay. So a little higher class.
Uh-huh. So here's what the investigator wrote about him. That he was a doctor of about 41 years of age and a fairly good family. He disappeared at the time of the Miller's Court murder, and whose body was found floating in the Thames on the 31st of December, 7 weeks after said murder. The body was said to have been in the water for a month or more. From private information, I have little doubt, but that his own family suspected this man of being the Whitechapel murderer. It was alleged that he was sexually insane.
Oh, dear. That's quite a statement.
Well, back then, sexually insane was, homosexual.
Could have meant, yeah.
He very well could have been a homosexual, and he was persecuted for that.
Hi, Angie. Janice would like to know, is that a made-up name, John Montague John Druid?
No.
That was his full given name.
Uh-huh.
Did they call him Monty?
Probably. Okay. So when you die in England, they automatically have a coroner's court. Like, you can't bury a body without a permit. There's a whole process you have to go through.
Right.
So when somebody passes away, they would have this coroner's court where they would get the evidence. They would talk to friends and family, acquaintances, business acquaintances, those types of things. And they would ask about the victim's state of mind, what was going on. Did anybody see them? Did they have any sense that they were in danger? Anything like that. And then the inquest would come back and rule the death one way or another. Natural causes, suicide, murder, medical. So if you got an infection, that would be considered a medical death as opposed to natural causes.
Carla wants to know, could sexually insane mean suffering from syphilis?
Not at the time.
They thought homosexuals were insane because they were making unnatural choices.
Right.
I'm not saying being gay is an unnatural choice. I'm saying the thinking of the time was.
Right. So why was he a suspect? So he was a strong suspect for this because, first off, the timing of his suicide. He killed himself, and that's right after the last victim, the canonical victims. And he was, there were never any more victims. So his own family suspected that he was the Ripper.
That's bad when you don't get everything.
I know, right?
Oh, I don't want to say it's him, but it's probably him.
So a lot of ripperologists, a lot of investigators at the time will all say that it was him.
Because they stopped right after.
Because the murders ended.
Mike, can I dump out this faucet water?
No.
No?
Not yet.
Okay.
Leave it.
But when they look at it, that case falls apart. First off, he wasn't 41. He was only 31. Several of his family members were doctors. He was not. So saying that he was a doctor,
But he would have had, by association,
he would have had some knowledge. But he was a lawyer.
But he was not trained as a doctor. He didn't go to school for that.
Right. He was not trained as a doctor. So that kind of tore apart the prospects of him being the Ripper. So they didn't have any hard evidence. Even his family, all they really had was thoughts that he could be. But then anybody who was considered sexually insane, whether that was, because this is a time when prostitution was legal, about the only thing that was illegal was being a homosexual. And that is going to be a point later on too. So, and the biggest thing was he had no connection to Whitechapel. There was no evidence he had ever been in the Whitechapel area, or that he knew anything, you know, as far as like how the layout was. And in order for Jack the Ripper to have been successful, he had to know things. He needed to know.
He had to be intimately acquainted.
Yeah, he had to know the back ways. He had to know that this alley didn't dead end and that it connected up to that. He needed to know when the police did their rounds.
Right, to avoid being seen by them.
Right. When is when is it active? Is it 4:00 in the morning is too late to be doing what I'm going to do because by 4:30 people are going to work. So that right there is one of the biggest points for me of why he couldn't. And if you've ever seen a map of the Whitechapel area at the time,
I have a map of Great Britain. We'll pull it out next time.
It's full of courts and it's full of dead ends and alleyways, pathways that lead to nothing but walls. Back then, it was sort of inclusive.
If you weren't from there, you shouldn't be there.
Right. So, that makes it harder
to just be casually strolling down the street.
Right.
Because you wouldn't really expect to see strangers to the area.
So the next popular suspect of the time was a man named Michael Osberg. Now, this is a good contender right off the bat. When you look at him on, paper, this is a good guy. He's a good suspect.
Okay.
He's a Russian doctor.
And
he was committed to a lunatic asylum as a homicidal maniac.
Oh, wow.
They could never figure out where he was at the time of the murders. So maybe.
Did he know the area?
Yes. Now, he was a petty thief. He was a con artist. And even though he was committed as a homicidal maniac, he had no history of violence.
Well, homicidal means he murdered somebody, yes?
That's what they said. However,
okay, yeah.
They couldn't find any history of that. He was simply labeled that by, again, the press
Oh, okay. So they couldn't find like an intake form or a hospital where he was actually at. They said he was a homicidal maniac.
So what they did is when he was on trial, when he was arrested for stealing some stupid trivial thing,
Right.
he went to the Old Bailey, which is their central courts.
Mm-hmm.
He started to show some signs of insanity. But doctors and everybody else said he's just, making it up.
To get
So
out of.
right. So they made him insane, transferred him to the lunatic asylum,
Mm-hmm.
where his occupation was registered as a Jewish surgeon.
Oh.
And they discharged him not much later, about within a year.
Okay.
So, but for whatever reason, they decided that he was a homicidal maniac.
Okay. Well, it could have been stuff he said in
Yeah.
if
But
he was trying to pull a "I'm insane," thing. Maybe
defense.
that's bananas.
So they turned around. He was again arrested. And when they arrested him, they went ahead and sent him to another asylum. That asylum said that he was not crazy. He was suicidal, but he wasn't dangerous.
Oh shoot.
And every time he got out, he would just go back to stealing things.
So do you think he liked being in, or he just was a thief, like
2 hots and a cot.
compulsive? Yeah. And probably some meds
And
or
he
something.
may have had some kind of compulsive personality. But in his records, in his criminal records, when those were opened,
Mm-hmm.
and opening records in England is not like here, there's a longer period of time. But when his
Okay.
records were opened, there was no history in there of anything to do with homicide. No records of him ever being rough or abusive to women. No women ever reported him for that. They just couldn't. And when he left the asylum in 1888, he just went to France. So he was not in England at the time of the murders.
And why do they consider him a suspect?
Because he was considered a suspect at the time. And they were looking for him going, oh, we know who it is. It's this guy.
But it turns out he was in France the whole time.
Right. Because he was somebody who was known to the police. He was known to be a little bit crazy. And
So
they thought
the
this
usual
guy had to be
suspects as
insane.
usual. Police
So, yeah,
work the same.
They were looking for the usual suspects. And when they couldn't find him, they were like, oh, he's hiding. Well, no, come to find out he was in an asylum in France.
Because he went over there and did the same thing.
Because he went over there and went cuckoo. Yeah.
Come on. I poke at the holes.
You're poking the holes?
Yeah, we're sewing it together. So it looks terrible. I'm not trying to make it look good. I'm trying to make it look terrible. Terrible, I say.
Okay. So the next one, and this one's a very popular one, is Kaminsky.
Okay.
Kaminsky is another one that was a very popular at the time and shortly thereafter suspect. So this is what McNaughton, who's the main investigator here, had to say about him.
Okay.
That Kaminsky is a Polish Jew and a resident in Whitechapel.
Mm-hmm.
This man became insane owing to many years' indulgence in solitary vices,
Okay.
great hatred of women, especially of the prostitute class, and had a strong homicidal tendency. He was removed to a lunatic asylum in about March of 1889.
Okay.
Okay, so if anybody's wondering, years of indulgence in solitary vices.
Yes. What is that?
Self-gratification.
Oh, he was spanking the monkey, was he?
Yes. Yanking the sausage. Shaking hands with his little friend.
Well, was he doing it in public? Like, how did they find this out?
He went to the mental asylum and
For
they found out that he
masturbating?
did it constantly.
Well, if you were locked up, it's a way to occupy your time, I guess.
No, he did it constantly.
Like, wouldn't your weenie get worn out?
I don't know.
Like, there's got to be an upper limit for handling that,
Yeah, at what point does it become painful? When have you rubbed it raw?
Yeah. Okay. Do you have like a color I can use to sew this? I have blue and I have black.
Yeah, I have every color of the rainbow out there in the garage.
That's not helpful.
Sure it is. Go out there and look. In the sewing box.
In the drawery thing?
Yeah, in the big drawer thing.
Okay. Okay, so I don't think spanking the monkey makes you want to kill people, though.
Again, they thought that made you insane.
Okay, but if he was doing that all the time, when did he have time to murder people?
I don't know. But again, conveniently died right around the time the murders ceased.
Uh-huh.
And he was Jewish.
Mm-hmm. That's not one of us good proper Englishmen, right?
Right.
All right, I'm going to go look in the garage. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So, he ended up he was in and out of jail. He did some time in the poorhouse, in the labor. He did what most people who lived in Whitechapel did. At some points, he ended up in jail. Sometimes he ended up in the infirmary. Sometimes he was in the poorhouse and the workhouse. It was just what he did. But he had mental illness at the time, what they considered at the end of the time. So he would go in and out of the workhouse until they decided that he needed to be cared for. So he was certified insane and transferred to a lunatic asylum. They said he was 26, that he was a hairdresser. His cause of insanity was listed as unknown, although self-abuse was later added. His closest relatives were family members, and he was admitted with the diagnosis that he was not a danger to others. So, is he a good suspect? Probably not. He was a loner. He was way too much into himself. And, he suffered from the diseases of the time, but he was a little on the outside. What we would consider today to just be a normal homeless person, he displayed those types of characteristics. Workhouse. Man, the park would be doing that all day. Oh, yeah. So a workhouse would be like if you owed a debt or you were broke and you didn't have any money and you wanted a place to stay, you would go to the workhouse where you would do menial work. Yeah.
You gonna have more?
Not right now.
Okay, it's okay to rinse out your bowl.
Yeah, thank you. For women, it basically meant sitting at a table with other women, tearing apart ropes to make new ropes, and it would tear your hands up. For men, it could mean literally smashing rocks.
Being a day laborer now.
It was like being a day laborer. You would go in and you would stay at the workhouse, which gave you a place to sleep. They would give you 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner, no lunch. You might or might not get a change of clothing. And if you owed a debt and you went into the workhouse, every day that you worked would pay off a little bit of your debt. So if you were broke, you could go into the poorhouse. So that was a workhouse of the day. So basically, he was a homeless person of the day. Even though he had family and he had a place to go, he tended to self-isolate. There is precedence for mental illness with self-abuse. Some people become almost addicted to it. And that was really kind of his issue. He used it as a way to get out of his own head, to concentrate on something else. Probably was schizophrenic, to be honest. He was probably schizophrenic. Like people would try to give him food and he wouldn't take it, but he would pick up food off the ground and eat that.
So he was in a dissociative state?
So he was in a dissociative state. So today we would probably medicate him and say he had schizophrenia. But back then that wasn't something that they understood or knew. So, he was just a bad boy for touching himself. There are some cases, now where they say, he has to be eliminated, mostly because of the schizophrenia. He was schizophrenic. He was delusional. He was paranoid. He was incoherent. These are all characteristics that were displayed by him, which made him not a good murderer, considering how cleanly, how quietly.
He would have been messy and noisy, and he probably wouldn't have bothered to leave the scene.
How successfully Jack the Ripper pulled off the murders.
Somebody in his state. Son of a...
Kosminski, not a viable suspect here. Now, when we were talking about the victims, we had talked about Chapman.
Right.
Chapman's husband, George Chapman.
Yeah.
So he was considered a suspect for quite a while.
Now he's the one we think for all of them, but we think he's the one that just killed her, right?
Well, they think that he just killed Annie. Yeah.
She probably, yeah. Okay. I got it.
So, but here's the thing, and this is why they think that he may have, this is why they tried to peg the Jack the Ripper on him.
Yeah.
Because he poisoned his wives.
Oh.
He was arrested, found guilty, and he hung for it. But here's the thing. You don't go from slashing somebody to poisoning people.
Yeah, you don't usually have a de-escalation.
Or mixed. Murderers are not mixed media artists. They find their medium and they stick with it.
That's not always the case, but yeah, usually.
If you're already making a mess, why would you poison one before, kill one with a knife, and then poison another one? No, his penchant was for poison. So it was just a coincidence as far as anybody was concerned. And they kind of threw him out right away. Okay. So now you move on to your next. Now we're getting into some of the
more likely suspects.
Yeah. So these are ones that have come to light recently that were investigated at the time because of their freedom of information in the UK.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is a guy named Thomas Cutbush. Cutbush. There was a lot of reports on him from the newspaper at the time. They went into great details about the murders, but they never actually said he's the killer. So they kind of went through it and they alluded to him being the killer. He was investigated pretty in depth. But based on what McNaughton had at the time, he still had those three better candidates. He still had Druitt, Ostrich, and Kaminsky. So he's not going to, pull a fourth person into this. He looked at Cutbush and dismissed him because, again, he was not suicidal. He was a danger to others, but he was in an asylum. He was there at the time. He did not fit the known descriptions as far as physical characteristics. And he was not in Whitechapel at the time of the murders.
Okay.
He was locked up. So they had to get rid of him. Excuse me. He just spiraled into, insanity. Physically, he took care of himself, but mentally, he just wasn't there. And then towards the end, he just let it all go. But he was incarcerated in a mental institution at the time of the murders. But this is the guy that the reason people were saying he was a high suspect is because he had syphilis.
Okay.
So even though he was taking care of himself, Again, his mental status was altered. If you know anything about advanced syphilis, and at the time, you didn't get syphilis and go to the doctor and get 2 shots in the butt and you were done.
No, it was going to end your life one way or another.
Yeah, that was a death sentence. And
well, violence was part of it, and loss of cognitive thinking skills, right?
Right. So, his brain became affected. He thought people were trying to poison him.
So paranoia is also part of it. I read up on it a while ago, but that shit's not fresh for me.
Right. So he was in the asylum, and he was in the he got syphilis in approximately 1888, which is right at the time of the murders.
Right. So it could make him violent, and
it could have made him violent. It could have made him irrational, this, that, and the other. But the thing is that according to his lunatic asylum number, his criminal lunatic number, he was in confinement at the time. So is he, even though he's a danger to others, is he legitimately a suspect?
He couldn't have done it if he was basically in solitary confinement.
Right. So next week, we're going to talk about some of the other kind of peripheral.
So those are the 4 police.
Those were the 4 that the police really were digging on.
Okay.
And going, these are the ones we're really watching.
And different people were like, that's definitely the guy,
Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, that's definitely him. But next week, we're going to talk about some of the ones that are a little bit more on the outskirts that became suspects later on after. Those 4 are the ones that were like primarily suspects during the time of the murders.
While they were still happening.
Right. While the murderer was active. The next set we're going to talk about are the ones that came up afterwards. Not necessarily years later, but later on in the investigation as they tried to.
As they started rolling out the suspects they had.
Right. So we're going to talk about Tumblety and all of those guys. But we'll do that next week.
Okay. So anybody questions, thoughts? Like, we like to discuss this, so.
Hey, Nina.
And I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. I'm sewing this file folder. Which for some reason I decided on a very elaborate thing. Well, it's not. It's just more time consuming than straight up stitching it. But that's what I'm working on. And I'm using green thread, so that's not really helping you, is it? So there, it's I'm going down, but I'm also going so there's a wrap stitch around the edge.
Look at her getting all schmancy.
Well, I'm a meticulous serial killer, sort of.
You're a crafty little serial killer.
Am I, though?
Well, you're practicing stitching up bodies.
I suppose.
Okay, so what I would like is if before we get to the end of this, if you want to text me via instant messenger or email who you think Jack the Ripper was.
So, but you're like, this is going to be held to the very end, right?
Yeah.
So at any point they can send you.
Anytime.
Are they allowed to revise if they change their minds as it goes on?
Just got pulled over. Nita says, just got pulled over for my taillight being out. Didn't say anything about my temporary tags, which expired May of 2022.
Oh my God. So observant.
Uh-huh. So if you have a suspect, send
Or
it to
you,
me.
or you've been in this long enough to have your own pet theory, you know, share.
Send it to me and tell me why. Why you believe that that person is Jack the Ripper. And at the end, I'll read a few of them. I won't put your names on them, but I'll read a few of them and we'll take a look. And we'll see if anybody comes up with the same suspect that I have. Janice, he did not kill them with a scalpel. The blade that he used was actually 8 to 12 inches in length, and it was what they called a amputation blade, because back in the day, since they didn't have any anesthesia, if they were going to take your arm off, they had to do it quickly.
And it was a nasty piece of work too. We'll get you a picture for next time.
So
we'll come in with a picture.
Yeah, so they had to have a long blade, and they would start at the end of the blade, and they would go around the arm or around the limb, severing all of the muscles, tendons, flesh, all of this at once. And then
it was a nasty piece of work.
They would remove the joint to get that limb off. So a good surgeon could do it in like 10 to 15 minutes. So
because you didn't want your patient to go into shock and bleed out while he was doing it.
Right. You didn't want to sit there and go, no, you wanted to do it quickly. So so it was like a dagger. Yeah, more like a dagger. But it was a single-sided blade. It was very thin, very strong, and pretty quick.
So I'll be sewing, you know, for a while after this live is over.
Leave it to Cleaver. Yes, leave it to Cleaver. So, yeah. Like a butcher's blade, absolutely.
Something meant to do serious damage in a short amount of time.
Right. All righty.
All right, so there's how far I've gotten. So just working on it, and I'll keep stitching tonight, so it'll be done the next time we get together. I didn't ink anything like a fool.
When are you going to be doing serial killer again?
Next Monday. I can't do serial killer on Monday and Friday. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But
then.
there might be a couple of videos coming to Patreon. So look forward to that, my little Patreons. Well, you know, my lovely little Patreons. You cool people out there. It's coming along. I just didn't want to make it black. I want it to be more subtle. Like maybe I stole the thread off her clothes, or it was her favorite color. I don't know.
Okay. I'd have gone with brown, and I did it from her hair.
Oh. I'll think of that next time.
But I'm sick, twisted, and tormented, so, you know. Oh, I'm Jack the Ripper.
No, you're not. I would be so dead.
Yeah. You probably would be.
So, no, I didn't get a lot done, but I think this has good potential. It's fun. And it's, we'll fill it up next Monday. I don't know what I'm doing on Friday. I will think of something. We might be jelly plating. I don't know. I got the bug. And I'm jealous that Adria has been jelly printing the whole time.
All right, ladies, I am out of here. I will see you all on Wednesday.
I will see you guys on Friday.
But I will definitely see you all Wednesday morning for our regular scheduled program. Which
Adria has work hands.
This week's topic is sweet treats. So we're going to be doing that.
You're fuzzy. There you go.
There.
And I will be back on Friday, but let me put in Elsa's channel one more time for anybody who's, most of you are.
It's in.
Oh, fine. That way. Whatever. Yeah, because we'll be on there next Monday. It won't be here. It will be over on Elsa's channel.
Yes, it'll be on my channel.
Because we share.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So that's all I've got. Is that all you've got?
That's all I have.
Let's do that sign-off thing. You guys have a lovely, lovely evening and a great rest of your week. We will meet back up on Friday for me, Wednesday with Els. And we will have fun and, talk about the week. Let's do it.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Stay well.
Bye. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses. I'm ending the stream. The end. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.